Good afternoon, everybody. Classmates and Theater. I'm gonna go over a reading called "Using Fun Activities to Improve Listening Skill." It was what Lee, the researcher, decided to carry out in a school in Indonesia with some students from 8th grade, 36 students, of course, and they were going through some problems related to listening score, as it were under the minimum. That's why Lee decided to implement the method classroom action research. So this method comprises of 4 stages: planning, implementing, observing, and reflecting. So in the first stage, planning, Lee decided to give some questionnaires to the students in order to know what was the problem. At the same time, he was doing observation checklist. He After knowing some kind of things, he arrived at some conclusions. First of all, that students consider the class dull, as they were unable to understand what the native was saying, maybe because of the pace of the recordings. Also, there were problems related to lack of creativity from part of the teachers. The teachers seemed to lack varieties in teaching and listening. So by taking into consideration this fact, he decided to draw on some authors who support that games are a useful part in learning process. He used, for example, Brown, Disbury, Haberman, Wright, and all of them claim that games enable students to rise their motivation. Also, games ought to be at the heart of the teaching foreign languages. So, by taking into consideration this, Lee implemented 3 games. In first place, Tic-Tac-Toc, which is concerning teacher's voice. And teacher's voice is going to replace native recording. And the advantage of this method, of this game, is that you as a teacher can use the pace of your voice according to the student's level in order for them to understand better. Secondly, he used another game called running dictation activities. And this method is amazing, as you can work listening, writing, reading, and speaking. And finally, he used whispering game activities. Those are very useful in order to work as an icebreaker, and especially this method, this game, enables students to memorize vocabulary and the spelling of the words. After doing this method, these activities that last 80 minutes, he decided to give some questionnaires to the students in order to know their opinion. After this result, what he learned was as follows: that, for example, students consider this method enjoyable, and it was a good way to work in a collaborative way with others. When it comes to the result of the listening activities that he was doing, because he had to carry out another an evaluation at the beginning of this process, before doing these games, students, only 12 students got more than 60. Then, after carry out the first cycle, 20 students got more than 60. And finally, 29 students were able to succeed by getting more than 60. So the conclusion, a final takeaway, is that this is a good method, implementing games not only in listening but also in all aspects of a language. So students are going to have a good time and there's going to be a good atmosphere in class. That's what I want to share with you. So thanks for your attention.